Hello and welcome, this is Rooflemonger, and in this video it will be a complete breakdown of the balanced patch for Dragon Ball FighterZ that went live today. Now, just so you know, this video is almost guaranteed to be a longer one, so I will absolutely have timestamps in the video description, so please use those to skip around. And before we get to anything specific, I just want to say overall, I'm pretty sure almost everybody's going to be happy with this one here. Unlike the last balanced patch, it's almost all buffs, it's almost all good buffs, a lot of big changes, not necessarily more assists, because, you know, obviously there's no new assists, but a lot of the assists are now way more useful than they used to be, which is, you know, one of my biggest complaints about the game. A lot of the changes I specifically asked for are in this patch. That makes me a very happy camper. Makes me feel like I'm doing something right? But yeah, so let's just start with the start here. We're going to go over the general system level stuff before we go over the character specifics. So there's quite a few changes within training mode now, and we're just going to start at the start. First up here, we can now change our online team when we're in training mode, so the one we're queued up with. Also, now this is kind of a small one, but kind of a big one for someone like me, because, you know, I'm particular about this kind of stuff here. We can now choose our character colors. So we can just do something here. Oh, Ginyu on color 12, Nappa we want color 8, and color 3 for Gotenks, right? And then all we gotta do, we gotta refresh it, and it's gonna happen. It's not the biggest deal, but I don't know. I like it. It's small, but I like it. Now, also on top of that, we can change our key gauge settings in the middle of training mode. So before it was basically either it doesn't refill or just auto regenerate to full, and now we can have it set to regenerate manually. That's pretty cool. Now we have our new colors, as you can see here. That's pretty cool. Now another one here. We have new position reset options. So the starting side here, we now got stuff that's different. So after a KO or switch, we can go to center, or after a stage change, we can go to center as well, on top of the usual left-right. So just some more options and more options, especially in training mode, always a fantastic thing. We now have the ability to change player sides, and now we have a new reset option. So before, you know, if we hit back and reset, we go to the player 1 side of the screen for the corner. Forward, we go to the player 2 corner, and down we go, you know, back to neutral. And now if we hit up and reset, hey, we just switch sides. So now that will switch sides for both players if you just hit up. Now, once again, if we switch now, I'm on the player 2 side here versus being player 1. And yeah, and vice versa. And it'll remember what position you picked. So that is super cool, super handy, saves a lot of time and just some various little things. And I'm a big fan. And speaking of being a big fan, we have new options for character settings, and specifically Ginyu Force and Potential Unleash, and thank God for that. So say you're practicing Ginyu here, right? And I want the purple common attack. So what do I gotta do? I gotta summon Goldo, then I gotta summon Raccoon, then I gotta summon Birder, and then I can finally do the move I want to do, right? So now, all you gotta do, hey, we're just gonna go on Jace now, and we can just do it right away, every time. And same deal here with Gohan here. Now we can start our potential unleash levels, so we don't have to waste time just, you know, manually entering the level we want after every reset. We can just start with the one we want. So for you Ginyu and Gohan fans, this is a big deal and it'll save you a lot of time. The recording feature. So before, we could set our guy up here and, you know, kind of do whatever, and that was it, and we had the one option. That's all cool and well now, but those are the days of the past, because now we got tons of options. As you can see here, we got a whole just slew of them. So now we have in total 8 recording slots instead of the one we always had, and this is gonna also, once again, this is a big time saver, so you don't have to manually enter the new thing every single time for, you know, whatever you want it to be. The training mode basically just got a complete overhaul, and I could not be happier. And also on top of that, the old damage counter here, where is it here? There we go. We can now, if we so choose, reset the max combo damage back to 0, and hey, also a fan of that. So things have also changed on the matchmaking end. So if we go to the matchmaking guy over here, we have actually a bit more options. So skill level here, opponent rank, we have now about the same, challenge, and same rank. So challenge just means here, as you can see at the bottom text, challenge means you're going to be selecting from a wider pool, that is, of players. And also, during ranked matches only, you will not see the skill indicator icon. So if you see, like, you know, the little pink thing or green or yellow or whatever, that will no longer show up in ranked matches because, you know, some people, they dodge matches if they see like a pink rank, right? So that will no longer be the option. They will not have that ability. it cannot, you know, just dodge you just because of your color now in a ranked match. Now on the flip, there is a change for casual matches here. So if we go to casual match, now we got same color. So, you know, the same kind of usual thing here, connection quality, all that kind of stuff here. But now for color, you can enter your casual matches, same color, about the same, or anything goes. So if you're looking at casual matches, you will have to see the, you know, icon beside the name, which is fine. Like, I got no problem with that. But, you will now be able to kind of, if you're like, say, you're blue, and unfortunately, but you're working your way up, right? You're just blue, but you don't want to fight, you know, red and pink squares. Well, if you do about the same, then you'll fight people around more your skill level. I think that's pretty okay. I think that's a good thing. So they're not a massive rework or anything, but still, I think good changes, good quality of life changes for matchmaking. Now, for some of the final changes here for the generalized notes anyways, what we have here in the character select screen, one, the mouse cursor moves faster. Like, that's awesome. I know, I always forget to save preset teams, right? So for me, this is kind of a really big deal. On top of that, some of the other things we have here, as according to the patch notes, added sorry and don't worry messages to party match, you know, if you're a party match kind of person. We can set input delay for local versus, which is... it's weird. Like, I'm kind of flummoxed here, you know. The whole point of, like, input delay, yeah, you're playing online. Like, the whole, why would you want to make offline like online? I guess there's someone out. If you're the guy who this is for, let me know in the patch, rather in the notes here in the YouTube video. But if somehow you wanted input delay and local versus, the options here for you. On top of that here, players you follow now have different colored names. And also, this is one of the big ones here. So now, whenever you are in the middle of a match here, so let's see here. Let's get our match going. Now we're gonna load our match here. Now, please notice, Gotenks is my first character up. All right, you see Gotenks. He's obviously got to be the first character. He is the first character I've selected. So therefore, when we head into the match, he should be the one that's up first, right? Well. As of the patch notes, right now I'm holding assist button 2, meaning Gohan. So what's going to happen here is Gohan is actually going to be showing up here. Because now they've added basically a King of Fighters option. We can now choose. As you see here, now Gohan's up front. Because I was holding assist 2. So if you hold the applicable assists 1 or 2, they will be actually the character that starts the match, not the one you just picked first. So if you want to add some King of Fighters level deceit to your team building and all that, just so you know, kind of mess with someone, this is now an option. And honestly, it should have been there since the start, but still, it's cool to have. I'm happy it is an option now. And yeah, once again, this whole patch is a lot of good stuff, and we're going to keep on going now because we're going to be moving on to character-specific stuff now. Oh, and one more quick note here. As a generalized system level change, Reflect no longer gets counter hit in its recovery frames, just so you know. So now let's start with the character specifics, because I know that's why a lot of you are here, right? And heck, it's, you know, one of the things I'm looking forward to the most. Piccolo, he does not got a lot of changes, but the one change he's got is a pretty big and decent one. So the homing blast here, and this also counts for the assist version of the move, just so you know, it has increased hit stun. So, meaning, like something like that. Like that was basically near impossible before that I could like kind of hit because they'd fall out of it almost right away. So you can now connect stray hits if you manage to get the homing blast off. And once again, this is also for the assist version. So for assist version, there's going to be whole new combos that were never possible before. So you're going to be able to relab everything you thought you knew, because it's going to happen here. So on top of the hit stun increase, it says here the recovery frames are also increased. So he recovers a little bit slower, but since the move is quite a bit stronger, especially when it connects, this is a pretty big deal here. So as a neutral move, as himself, the buff is not as big because once again the recovery frame being increased. But as an assist, this move just got wildly more better because you can just kind of connect a lot more stuff with it. Now, Tien Gohan, oh my goodness gracious, he is a much better character. Let's start with the big one here. So down, special on the ground, that's the bomb. You know, he's very famous for like the bomb loops and stuff in the air, but the one on the ground's always been kind of, well, poop. Now no longer, because yo, he can now move in the air and do other things after the grounded version. So if you like your Kid Buu Gotenks style of mix-ups here, of, you know, you call the assist, you do the thing, then you air dash in, he can now do that. The fact that he is now air okay to move after the bomb is huge. I can't really stress that much more than that. the fact that he has options, and of course, you know, he can like hit a button too as he's landing. It's gonna be, you know, you're basically only going to be able to get a light off, and you got to be razor strict timing. But once again, huge. The fact he's able to air move after this is such a big deal here. And also now, on top of that, so match the landing recovery frame with jumping down special. English on that one's maybe not the best. All I can think is the air version has somewhat similar recovery. Also, for down special here, expanded the hitbox at the beginning of the attack, meaning the bomb has bigger hitbox. This is one of his best moves already, right? And now it is straight up buffed so much. It's such a big deal here. Once again, now jumping down special expanded the hitbox at the beginning of the attack. So this is both the ground version and the aerial version. So bomb is just a much better move now. It's great on the ground, fantastic all around. And his assist. So the assist moves forward quite a bit more here. Now, if you remember how it worked before, like let's use this little crack on the ground as our limited test here. He would land maybe right before it. Now he lands clear past it. So this makes an assist that was nebulous. It's still not going to be one of the better assists in the game. I'm not going to lie to you, right? But this assist now is eminently more useful, especially in recombo situations, because of the increased forward movement. So all in all, Team Gohan, even though it's like the bomb change is the one real change, but it's such a massive change that he is a big winner in this patch. Frieza, another character who winds up being a big winner in this patch here. So first up here, standing special, that's just the finger blast here. You might notice this is way faster than it used to be. And this is, like, it kind of plays out the same after, you know, you hold the button here. But the initial key blast here is lightning fast now, lightning fast. This is a huge deal here. It's makes this a much bigger threat on the ground. And yeah, now also, let's just move on here. So Death Slash, that's the pillar here. So the assist version specifically, the hit stun has now been increased by quite a bit. So you're going to be able to do combos and stuff with this that you have not been able to do before, and I'm going to show you a bit more when we get to Majin Buu. Just use Frieza as our example here. But yeah, as an assist, this move is much better than it was before. However, it still does have minimum travel distance, as you can see here. But still, you're going to be able to do brand new combos with this you've never been able to do before, and it's going to be a pretty decent buff as far as him as a character in the back. Now, also, as a character up front now, the light version of Death Slash also starts up faster now. So this move, it was one of his better moves to begin with, honestly, and now it's just better yet for it. And now going on to his Warp Smash, that's this guy right here. So, the part where he kind of teleports out and becomes invincible for a split second, that will happen a bit faster now. So maybe you're not going to be using it to pull like some, you know, Dimitri from Darkstalkers or Slayer from Guilty Gear style shenanigans with the teleport, but still, it's a buff, it's good, that's fine. Also, for the aerial move here, you might not survive this time, which is, you know, the big ball move here. It says, as it's written, reduce the landing recovery frame on whiff. So, you are basically, you can land and like air dash before you hit the ground now. It's not quite the change I was hoping for, but still, it's pretty decent. Now, Golden Frieza here. This is kind of a big one here. So first up here, Golden Frieza, reduce the recovery frame after the pause. So basically what it's trying to say, when I don't even know how to do Golden Frieza correctly here. There we go. You recover right away once this happens. Like there's not even like, you know, one frame delay. As soon as that cinematic is done, you're basically good to go right off the bat. Also, if an opponent isn't taking any hits when this move is activated, so like during a raw activation, then it would take it would take more time till the game pauses to zoom to Frieza. Meaning, so, the initial animation there, right there, I can move around a little bit before that happens versus the animation happening right away. So they kind of want you to do in combos, just so you know. However, Frieza is full invincible during this new animation state. So you might be able to maneuver around, but you're not going to be able to just punch him forward here. As here, it's basically a guard state here, so he can just bounce off and yeah. And then potentially, you know, you're still going to get smacked if you're not blocking right away in the middle of, you know, a given string, but it is still something. Also, restrictions are lifted for combos, meaning, and I'm just going to read to you as it is written here, can perform a string such as the following: standing heavy, standing medium, standing light, meaning he now has reverse speed just like Vegito and Gohan. So once he's doing this, just like Vegito and a max level adult Gohan that is, he can now break the combo rules of the game. So we can go all the way into the corner here, and we can do fancy stuff like stand heavy, into a medium, into a light, all that kind of stuff. So the combo extensions and new combo possibilities for Golden Frieza are completely rewritten. Throw out everything you thought you knew, because you're going to have to hit the lab and find out all this new stuff, because now he's going to be a real threat, especially in the corner. Ginyu is another big winner, and there's going to be a lot of big winners here, so this patch is a really good patch. Let's start here with the start. So crouching heavy, that guy right here, can now Z combo into standing special, meaning, here, let's just set up our dummy to block. You can now go right into a Ginyu assist call right off the bat. Now you might have noticed there too, we went over it earlier, but just in case you're skipping ahead, you know, watching the character specific stuff. Hey, why is Jace the first guy I'm calling, right? Because now in training mode here, when we go to character specific settings, you can now set which character you want to start with for the Ginyu squad, meaning you no longer have to go through every single character in a row back to back to back to get who you want. So that's a really big buff in training mode Ginyu. Now also, I just got rid of him, I should go back to him I guess, Jace. So Jace, when Jace is up, you almost always want purple combat attack. Like, it's very, very rare the situation you don't want it. But now Jace has increased hit stun, meaning when the move connects, it's going to be, the enemy's going to be basically in a hittable state for longer than he currently is. And it's going to be, you're still going to want purple combat attack 99 times out of 100, but still, it's there, it's an option. Now for strong jersey, and that's the tackle if you're not aware. Now it says here, reduce the block stun. So this is a nerf then, if it's as they're saying it, because if the block stun is less, that means he's going to be more negative on block. Now, however, and we'll just turn off our block here, the medium and heavy versions, now, yeah, like, that says it all right there, don't it? So, you can get basically full combos now, especially with the EX version anywhere on screen. This is a big deal here. So it says specifically increase the non-recovery frame on hit, which is, you'll see that a lot. The English on that's not amazing. But yeah, basically this is all you need to know. The visual of it, this moves a lot better on hit. Now the aerial strong jersey, that's the air tackle here. The versions all start up quicker here. Not by much, but still, overall, small changes, but stuff like Ginyu, any Ginyu block string down heavy into Ginyu call. These Ginyu is a much better character overall. Little changes, but little changes kind of lead to big things, and Ginyu definitely feels the value of this patch. All you Ginyu fans, you're going to like it. So Trunks, the one everyone wanted, isn't what we got. This is still a mid. This is not a low, so oh well, I guess. But let's first here talk about the patch notes from the start. So standing special, jumping special, and flipping the special here. All these moves here now, if they are deflected, the hitbox goes away. So meaning if somehow the point character deflects the move and there's an assist behind him, it's not going to hit the assist anymore. The hitbox isn't just now negated on the screen. However, they can now be special canceled after the deflect. So if you get deflected here, you can still go into like change the future or something like that. Now moving on to the assist here. So the assist, once again, this is you know, trying to patrol with some of the characters here. Increase hit stun on the attack, meaning new combo routes are possible. The opponent will be in a hittable state for longer after being smacked by this. So if you have Trunks on your team, it's time to learn some new combos. Also now here, going to the Shining Slash, that's the overhead. This is the EX version. Has reduced the startup frames, meaning this move will basically come out quicker. So it will take a little less time to get to the overhead portion of the move now than it did before. So overall, these are obviously buffs, right? But I bet some Trunks players are going to be disappointed with this because it's not what a lot of people were looking for. The assist is better. You know, EX slash is better, but still, I know some people were looking for a bit more than this. He's still a better character in the end, but sometimes it's just a little disappointing, sadly. So Cell, a little less perfect than he was before, but still a really good character. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna go through these, and this is basically mostly nerfs, but he's still a good character in the end. So let's start here with a start. So standing light, crouching light, they both are slower now. So It doesn't state exactly the difference in the frame startup, so I don't know if they're 7-frame moves now or not, because I don't have the ability to frame count right now. But they are slower regardless, so just keeping them aligned a little bit. Now, low kick here, that's the forward and the heavy here. So now if you start a combo with this move, it'll count as a scaling starter. So, you know, say if you started a move with like a, a jumping attack or something, it's very much the same here. This is now a scaling starter. Also, jumping medium now is a little bit slower. This is like one of the best, if not debatably the best, jumping medium in the game. So it's a little bit slower, but it's still going to do the same job it always did. The hitbox is exactly the same, so it's still really, really, really good. Now, jumping special, this guy right here. So if it's a first hit move, as you see here, you're ground bounce now. So, it's going to be, it's different. You won't be able to recover fast enough to actually connect with your own combo solo. But it basically makes it a little less oppressive on the ground. And now also, this is a big one here, especially for corner combo stuff. If you now use it in the middle of a combo, the damage scaling is increased. So you know your loop combos and all that, your loop combos are now going to do less damage. And hey, that's kind of just what I've been asking since the start. Just make them do a bit less damage. And now in the corner, at least anyways, with your old loop combos, it's not going to be miles less, but he's going to do a bit less damage. Now, moving on here, the only other things that have changes are the rolling crush moves here. So the medium version here, specifically, and this is the grounded one, the distance moved now can be adjusted. So, hey, look, I'm holding back here. Look how little I'm moving. And here I am holding forward, and that's quite a bit different, right? And if I just hold it neutral, I kind of go to the same distance we always did. So you can now control the distance the medium version on the ground moves, which is... it's a neat little buff. Time will tell how applicable this is for like gameplay reasons, but you know, more options is more better, right? So that's pretty cool. The EX version now starts up faster, so this is actually a buff for Cell. So it doesn't say how many frames faster it does start, but it does start up faster, so hey, can't argue it. And also, just like the medium version, you can also change the distance. Now the aerial rolling crush, this is for the light and medium versions. It says this move will no longer hit an opponent on the back. Now, the way this is written here, this looks like it hit cross up here, but maybe it just means the elbow part can't hit up cross up in the corner anymore. Or maybe I'm just hitting in the front when I think I'm not. But regardless, it just basically means a nerf to the old cross-up gimmick, which was kind of frustrating. So honestly, good riddance. That's all I gotta say. Android 18, also another big winner here. So let's just start at the start here, even though I do want to skip ahead to the command grabs, but we'll wait. So standing light and crouching light. So these moves can now, basically, you can repeatedly whiff them here by holding back and your light button here. So you see here, I can just kind of whiff the stand light instead of just the usual auto combo that comes out. So if I hold back, I'll just get light instead of the auto combo. Now, her barrier. So, as an assist, this move now enters her invincible state a little bit quicker, because one of the things that sucked about this move, honestly, is you call her and you smack, you get hit, and she gets hit anyways because she's not invincible yet. So, this move is still, like, you know, you gotta build a team around wanting it to be useful, sure. But now, since it's invincible faster, it comes a much better assist. Now, also, her doing it as herself here also enters the invincible state quite a bit quicker here. And also can now cancel into a super attack by pressing R1 or R2 upon blocking an attack. So if we, you know, do whatever attack here. So if we do this and have the enemy attack us, and I just hit R1. I didn't hit any motion at all. I just hit R1 and it'll go right into super. So if you catch them hitting you, you can have them absolutely guaranteed dead to rights, which is pretty cool and a neat little buff. Now let's talk about the grabs here. So first up here, medium and heavy grapples here. It says increase the move distance, meaning it grabs from further away now. So it doesn't start up any quicker or whatever, but at least it's not completely crippled in the range department. And as you see here, it's not a terribly big buff, but still it's something. Now the light grapple. Before, this would miss. And now it actually connects. This is something I've been harping on for months now, actually. So to see this one change, this is actually the most exciting change for me. That her super actually connects after this move. Because before it would let you cancel into the move, but it would just completely miss. which made it pointless. So now, this gives us a little bit of mustard, basically, since she can now combo into a super afterwards. So this also works with level 3, just so you know. So it makes the light command grab basically an effectively dead move into something that's actually worthwhile to give a shot now. So overall, pretty happy with the changes day 2. Moving on to Gotenks, our first change here. The standing special, it says matchy cancel timing on additional inputs with the other characters. So it's just bringing him in line with the rest of the cast. His assist, so this is basically just a bug fix here, but fixed an issue where the camera angle doesn't change in the latter part of the combo after hitting the opponent with the assist attack. So it's just a bug fix, honestly. Now him doing Galactic Donut move by himself here. So same deal here. Just fix the camera issue, so it's not a big deal. Now let's talk about Die Missile Barrage here. So this move is definitely his weakest move by quite a bit, and now it has reduced startup frame, meaning it starts up faster, increased the damage. Now you see here too, like that's wildly faster than it used to be for the startup. Changed the way the opponent is blown away on hit. I see here it's kind of a soft knockaway here. So they are not blown as far away as they used to be. Hit stun is increased, and also expanded the hitbox for the beginning attack, meaning the initial barrage hits basically on a wider way. So this was basically a dead move for him, and now I'm not gonna. Time will tell, I guess, how well it works out. But so far, you know, buffs are good, right? So we'll see how it works out. Now, Miracle Super Punch. That's this guy here. This is the medium version specifically. The landing recovery has been increased when not holding down the medium button. So basically there was a couple tricks in the corner where you could be like wildly plus on block with certain things, and this kind of just takes it away. So it is a little bit of a nerf. Special Rolling Kick, this is the X version here. This is the old top spin here. So the recovery has been increased. So it is basically not the dominant move it used to be. However, at the end of the move, you now are allowed to double jump or air dash out. So that is something, but yeah, since the recovery is increased, it is, this used to be a completely oppressive move, right? So it is bringing it in line a little bit. Now moving onwards, the aerial version of the move has reduced the recovery frames. So the problem with the spin top was it was the grounded version that was the really good one. The air version, like, it was still good for annoying people, but it wasn't quite as dominating and very plus on block like the grounded version was. Now, Vengeful Shout. So that's this guy right here. So if you do the feint, which is holding the button here, the landing recovery has also been increased a little bit. So it's not a lot, but as you can see here, I'm mashing here, and you basically manage to get your low kick or whatever else you want to do here. It's seemingly a frame or two slower. So it makes that mix-up just a little less devastating. However, the mix-up's still very much going to be there, so don't get me wrong. But it makes it just a little less devastating. So overall, Gotenks, I think he's nerfed a little bit, but he's still a great character, and still probably a top 5 character in the end. Because like the nerfs hurt a little bit, but you know, jump light's still going to be jump light, jump heavy's still going to be jump heavy. His toolbox is still going to be intact, so I think he's going to be more than fine. Krillin, only a couple changes, but these are some pretty good ones here. So let's just start at the start here, and now standing special, that's this guy right here. And if you were never aware before, you can always hit the button, you'll make them go up. So now, you can bend only the second fireball, meaning, so one can hit normally, and the other one can kind of fly up. So you get best of both worlds. So you can choose to either bring them both up, both on the ground, or one at a time, making him a lot trickier. Now, much the same here, the jumping version, you can always make them go on the ground. Now, if you hit up, you can make them go up now as well, increasing the tricky value of this. Now, this is one here that's not listed, and I don't remember it being this way, but the air version here, if you hold forward and back, he'll actually move slightly forward or slightly back, depending on what you're holding. I don't remember that being the case, but maybe I'm crazy and that was always there. But yeah, so it makes the grounded and aerial versions of this Ki Blast a lot trickier. Now, moving on to the assist here. So, the rocks no longer break by an opponent's attack, meaning you can't just break it on, you can't smack it out of the air. Also, another unintended change here, that rock is active the whole time now. So, if the rock hits, say, a player character and an assist, It can hit the player character to bounce off and also hit the assist or vice versa. So just so you know. Also, the damage scaling on the move has also been changed. Now another big one here, the Solar Flare. Solar Flare is now an anti-air style attack, meaning it is invincible, just like a down heavy is, to air attacks. Now it's not going to be invincible on frame 1, just so you know, but it gives him an option. Someone's just constantly like instant air dashing in on you or whatever, or big old homing dash from full screen or something like that. You can now also do a Solar Flare instead of a down heavy as an option. So overall, little buffs, I guess you could say, but these Ki Blasts are actually some of the better stuff Krillin has, and a lot of people don't work with these the way they should, and I think this is a pretty decent sized buff for Krillin. He's not a monster or nothing like that, but definitely he does well by these buffs. Now Kid Buu. Kid Buu, he got some nerfs, but don't get me wrong here. He's nerfed. He's still a great character. They very much did the thing of they gave nerfs to make things more fair, but they didn't take away Toolbox, which is exactly what I've been asking for this whole time, right? So let's just start here. So Kid Buu, the medium here, crouching medium, and also the long range version of it. The startup frames are increased, so it's a little bit slower than it used to be. Not a lot wildly slower, but just a little bit slower than it used to be. And also, these moves now count as a damage scaling starter move, meaning, so just like an air attack or whatever, if you start the combo with this, it is now going to scale. So you'll still get good damage, you'll still hit the guy, you know, that wasn't blocking low from 75% or more from the screen away. So all the utility is still there, but if you start the combo with this, then you are going to scale your combo, just so you know. Now also, crouching special. So increase the landing recovery frame. So this is very similar to Gotenks, right? So that old mix-up here of, you know, you do the thing and go for the crouch light. This one's actually a bit more pronounced to me than it is for Gotenks. Because it's actually, like, I'm jamming on this crouch light button, right? And this looks like 3 or 4 frames slower than it was before. So that mix-up got a lot less deadly, but still, you know, that mix-up was the only, well, a lot of people play Anchor Kid Buu, right? Don't really get that mix-up. So that is now, you know, a thing. Also, the fireball will now be thrown downwards depending on the enemy's position. So, depending on where you are, like right there, as you can see, if I'm real close, it's going to hit you up close. It's going to try to hit you. So, this is actually, you know, kind of a nebulous buff. I'm not a Kid Buu main, I'm going to give you first a minute, so if you are a Kid Buu main, tell me what you think of this here, because, like, it is actively angling downwards now, which, you know, it's different. Up close, that means, you know, if you're trying to hit him with this, it won't miss because it'll connect, right? It's just different, and I'm not position of authority on Kid Buu, so I can't really speak to this one here. Now, jumping special here. Increases the landing recovery frame, because once again, his jump special, people abuse the crap out of it, so you will now land a bit slower here before you can move and do whatever you want again. Now, the Mystic Ball attack. We get the dummy set the block here, so let's just show you. No longer. So, if you were the kind of fraud, and yeah, I'm calling you a fraud, get mad, I don't care. This thing was stupid. This was stupid. It was dumb. Come on. He has like some of the best neutral in the game. He's got a billion tools, and he still has a billion tools even after all these nerfs, right? He didn't need this. So this is now gone. This no longer crosses up. So, if you want to open people up in the corner, you got to do it like every other character in the game now. So, this was just, that was one of the things that was just a bit too much for me, and honestly, I'm kind of glad to see it gone. Now, the Mystic Arm Swing, that's this guy right here. So, there is added invincibility jump attack, so it's now more invincible to jump attacks than it was before, making an even more desirable anti-air attack. So, overall, is he nerfed? Yeah, he's nerfed. But is he still one of the better characters in the game? Yeah, he is still absolutely one of the better characters in the game. So, Majin Buu, let's just start with the start here, because, yo, notice the enemy's crouching right now, right? Hey, I can now finally hit crouching people with standing light. This is something I've been asking for months and months and months, and now you can finally do it just like any other character in the game, right? Maybe not the end of the world for some, and, you know, if you were a little far away, further out, you know, you're still gonna whiff here, as you can see here. But still, the fact that at least when you're close, you have the option to do it, something big, right? And also, the second hit of the auto combo chain here now starts up a bit faster, so that's always nice to have. Also, now just moving on real quickly here to the Z assist. Once again, the English on this is not amazing. Increase the non-recovery frame. It looks the same to me. I just can't really decipher the non-recovery frame thing. I'm not quite fully well sure what it means, so if you have some insight, please post in the comments below. But this isn't something to change on paper here. But the biggest buff that Majin Buu got is all the buffs to the assists. So, extremely difficult here. I didn't record earlier, I've only done it once, but just something like his usual butt stomp here, into Frieza call, into quick dash, into fat toss, now works. It's very difficult, but now he will basically have options besides Vegeta mid-screen. It might work too with all the other assists out there. I don't have it recorded right now because it's tricky. It ain't easy like the Vegeta one, right? But it is possible to do now. So he will have more options, so you're not necessarily chained to Vegeta. And as the patch gets out there, you know, we tried all these new assists and all that, we might find more options yet. So that's all pretty cool. Oh, Nappa, my friend, my sweet boy. Oh, you're still ain't top tier, you're not even close to it. But still, this is what we want. So, hey, we got a pesky thing here, you know, he's stand blocking me all day. And Nappa, you know, before his only low was stand medium. Like his sweep, you know, that looked like a low, that wasn't actually a low. Well, Nappa's now the king of the lows. So, not only stand medium, obviously still a low, because he's blocking standing. Down medium actually is the low it looks like to be. And not only that, we have a new challenger, because standing light is now a low attack. And oh my god, I'm so happy. Oh, so you basically can go to something like this here, and that's 3 lows in a row. So now his overhead actually is now somewhat more threatening, because you'll have the constant threat of the low versus just the old stomp being the only low. And having a light on a standing normal basically, honestly, kind of completely ruins value of this move, like completely. But still, watch out, Gohan, because you're not the only guy who has a standing light that hits low now, because Nappa's on your tail. Now Nappa here, crouching heavy, expanded the hitbox forward. What does this mean? Well, we got a crouching Kid Buu here. So this is what this means. Hey, he actually has to block the move now. So before, the little characters, when they were crouching, this move would straight up miss 100% of the time. It could not hit the little characters at all. So, it now hits. And that's fantastic, because that was a big source of frustration, and I'm very happy that changed. Now, Blazing Storm, so that's the explosion here. This is both the regular move and the assist version here. So it starts up faster, and this is also something I've been wanting. So I'm very happy. It's not a lot faster, but it is faster nevertheless, so it makes it less of a dead move in neutral. Actually gives it a little more kick in neutral. Two things that aren't in the English version of the patch notes, but are in the translated version of the Japanese patch notes. So the assist version of this move has more hit stop, so more hit stun, meaning you can do new combos with it as well, so it makes the assist a lot better. Now the English version says it reduced the frame disadvantage when blocked by opponent, which is straight up wrong. This move actually is more negative on block than it used to be. So I think that might be a translation error, but still, that's fine, because this move was basically 0 on block before, and now it's like a little bit negative. Now, too bad, that's this move right here. So it now enters the armored frames earlier, which is fantastic, because, you know, even though he's all about hitting people low now, his moves are still slow, right? So he now has a bit more of opportunity to get people off him. However, the total duration of the move is quite a bit quicker, so it's not going to be quite the same for using in block strings and using assists and all that kind of stuff. So there's a bit of a trade-off, but still, it's a trade-off I'm very happy to have. Now, the one nerf, because Nappa can't go without a single patch without getting nerfed, right? So Cyberman Spit. So Cyberman Spit now counts as a basic key blast, meaning when the enemy blocks it, they can reflect out of it or they can homing dash out of it. So it makes cyber pressure a little bit weaker when the spit part comes up, because they will always have the option to reflect or homing dash out. So that is a bit of a nerf, but it's not the end of the world, considering, you know, the buffs he got. So overall, Nappa definitely overall improved character. Moving on to Android 16, I was scared he was going to get the hammer for no real reason, and thankfully he did not. However, there is a nerf. So you can no longer delay the third hit of the auto combo and get your grab in. So that is, you know, not ideal, but still whatever, because he did get some buffs. So what we got here is the grounded flying power bomb, so like kind of his air grab here. So this move is now invincible to air attacks on startup. So right here, as you can see, it's not foolproof as I got smacked out of the homing dash, so I don't know the frames on it, but it is now a lot more reliable to do stuff like this. And right there you see the homing dash just kind of went right through me. I did the slower version on purpose just so you can see the invincibility. But yeah, so overall that's a huge change and I'm very, 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 very happy for it. And also, this is across all the versions here, so light, medium, and heavy as well. So a good buff to his game plan. Also now, the grounded dynamite driver, so that's the regular pile driver here. The damage has been very slightly buffed. So if we turn on our damage info here, and see it now does 1500 damage from the previous 1200 it used to do. So it's not, you know, a big change here, but it's basically the kind of the mea culpa for the fact that, you know, when you're going for, you know, this and doesn't connect anymore, well, you can still do this with and then get your grab and get a little extra damage. So overall, he's basically, you know, kind of unchanged a little bit. You know, his gameplay's not going to be wildly different, but he didn't get the, you know, Nerf Hammer he didn't deserve to get. Like, I was just scared of it. And, you know, this getting a little bit more damage, and also the medium as well does a little bit more damage than it used to. And the making the grounded, because the anti-air versions are, you know, they're unchanged, or rather the air versions are unchanged, but the grounded versions of the anti-air grab, making them properly air invincible, I'm very happy about that. Now Yamcha, only 2 changes. First one here, Spirit Ball, now does more base damage overall, so it'll actually do more damage at the end of a combo, which is great because his damage isn't amazing. Now the Neo Wolfang Fist, which is the EX version of the move, now wall bounces, as you see here. So combo-wise in the corner, he's kind of going to be doing the same, but it gives him more option mid-screen, so that's pretty alright, I guess. Not a Yamcha main here, so this uses in time, we'll find out. So overall, he basically has one more option to work with mid-screen, and the Spirit Ball now does more damage, period. So that's pretty handy. So Yamcha not exactly going to be screaming up the tier list, honestly, but still little buffs can't hurt. Tien, not a lot of changes, but still pretty good stuff. So first up here, let's just start with the assist. The assist now has more hit stun. And now new combos that were never possible before are now possible with this. So if he's on your team, please rework what you have, because now there's a whole bunch of new stuff that's possible. Now, grounded volleyball fist here, we have a bug fix. Now the medium version, he enters his armored state quicker. So he has the armor frames a lot faster than he used to, making this a much more viable move in neutral, which is really cool. Now the grounded volleyball fist, now, I've criticized Arc Sys about this before, about adding new things, and they added new stuff, so good on them, because guess what? Hey, what happened there? Did the game glitch out? What's with the second Tien? Well, guess what? It's multi-form time! Tien can now multi-form! It's only on the volleyball fist, so no matter how you start here, with the light or medium, now if you use the EX version for the second and third hits, he will now have the multi-form built into it. And that looks so cool. I'm so happy. Like, it doesn't really do much different, right? But still, even if it's just a small visual change for the EX version, I'm still so happy it's a thing. It looks so cool here. And that's not just the second and third hit, so you can go right into third hit and get that as well, just so you know. But yeah, super, super cool. Tri-beams have been changed, and you know, Tien's all about the tri-beam, right? So first up here, so the duration where he's allowed to switch out in the regular tri-beam, like you can call your second guy and do whatever, that has been increased. So it's sometimes a little difficult to get little DHC combos with him, and it just makes it a little bit easier. But now the double extra big thing here, this is the home run for him. So tri-beam and neo tri-beam, if you are in Sparking Blast, the amount of damage you do to yourself is different. So here's regular tri-beam, and as always, we take 10% from ourselves here. And I guess I should probably set it so my health bar does not recover, just so I can see. So here, 10% as always, right? Now we'll reset. We're gonna enter Sparking. Now look at my health bar. There we go. Not quite as self-damaging. Now once again here, we'll just do neo tri-beam, and we're gonna do max bars and just dump on them. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm basically dead, right? Like, I'm more hurt than Kid Buu is. So now let's do the same thing here, but we're going to do it in sparking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not even halfway hurt yet. So this incredibly, like, he's already been a decent anchor. He always was, right? You know, a lot of people kind of switch him up to mid because of the self-damage stuff. But now this really adds value again to him being the anchor, because you can dump your tri-beams onto the enemy while you're in sparking, and it still hurts, sure, but it doesn't just destroy you as bad. And that was me dumping all 7 bars in Neo Tri-Beam, right? So if we're in sparking here, and let's say we just want to do 3 bars worth, 3 shots worth, that is. 1, 2, 3, let go. That's like what? 15%? And over half-life for Kid Buu. So way more a valuable move now in sparking. This is a big buff to his best move. So yeah, it's fantastic. Now, moving on to hit, I can't help but be a bit disappointed because down medium is fully unchanged. This move needed to be faster than it is. It needed to, and it's not. So yeah. But let's work with what we got here. And standing lights here, the third attack here of the auto combo, this guy right here, expanded the hitbox upward. So actually we're going to help fare a little bit with some of his corner combos, make it a little bit easier with some of the loops here with the projectile. Crouching light, that's this guy here, the overhead, can now cancel the second standing light of your auto combo into the crouching light. However, since the threat of the overhead low is so garbage, honestly, it's not much of a buff, because you know, you always want to stand block them no matter what, and only react once you see that stomp happen, right? Tides the time, that's this move right here. That's the EX version of a stance. It is now full invincible faster, so that is pretty cool at least. It does not state how many frames faster it is becomes full invincible, but still, that is something. But overall, even though these are strictly only buffs, I gotta say I am disappointed with Hit. He needed more than what he got. So Goku Blue, he's done pretty well for himself in this patch. So let's start here with Super God Shock Flash, which is just the 1-inch punch. That's the fancy name for it in the game, right? So all versions, the startup has been reduced, making this move a lot more useful than its nebulous usefulness it had before. The light version also, if it connects, we can actually get a super after, which we cannot do before. The EX version also, it says here, they changed the way the opponent's blown back on hit, which is the reason why the super can connect for the light. And also, the EX version, we can now get full combos too. So this move is now wildly more useful than it used to be here. Now, if you whiff the move here, you see here EX and regular version, if it misses here, it kind of goes to punch anyways, versus the medium you do not. Increase the damage on the whiff. Now, that's honestly not a big deal, but still, it's kind of cool. It's kind of neat, right? Also, added damage scaling when using this move as a combo starter, because now it is a viable combo starter. You know, you can go, like, you know, this never was possible before, right? So it will now scale if you use this as a combo starter, just so you know. Now also, the instant transmission here states here Goku will now always face an opponent, rather always face towards the opponent after the move, because sometimes you can land kind of a little bit backwards. And the extreme speed Kamehameha, that's his level 1 super here, increase the duration which the ultimate Z change can be performed, meaning it's just a little bit easier to switch now between level 1s when you're doing this. So overall, the weakest part of his moveset was easily the grabs, and now they're a viable and valuable part of his moveset, so Goku Blue gets away with this patch feeling pretty good. Now, Vegeta Blue. Maybe he was never the worst character in the game, but nobody liked Vegeta Blue. It's kind of cut and dry like that, right? So thankfully, he's got some changes for him. So the Big Bang attack, and this is both for the move as himself as a character and also for his assist. So the damage is increased across the board, just so you know. Also, the hit stun and block stun, this is very important for the assist, are also increased, making this move as an assist a lot more useful. And also, when the opponent is blown back on hit now launches upwards, as you can see here. But yeah, overall, this is a pretty decent buff to the move here. The damage is up, the block stun and hit stun is up. So, especially as an assist, because it was a very questionable assist outside of certain gimmicks, it is now much more valuable as an assist. Now moving on to the dash kicks here. So the super dash kick, when the third hit specifically, the light version of the third hit here, the startups increase when he's in front of the opponent. Now also all the grounded versions of the kick, even though they are aerial moves, like in the fact that your feet are no longer touching the ground, they no longer count as aerial moves, meaning you can't down heavy them for free. Now if your down heavy is like in front of it and the hitbox is interacting the right way, sure you'll hit him, but it'll no longer have the anti-air property of it because these no longer count as aerial moves, so you will not get bopped in that regard. And that's pretty decent. Now, as moving on to the grounded super dash kick again here, the second and third attack here, the frame advantages, rather the frame disadvantages, have now been unified across the board. The Gallic Gun, that's his level 1 super, which is, I did the wrong one there. The Gallic Gun now has his damage increase, so it's not a lot, but still, it is something. The Niagara Pummel, that is his other level 1, this guy right here. So the distance moved is now a little bit better. And by a little bit better, I mean a lot better, actually. This starts up faster now, too. And it says here, mitigated the damage scaling. Now, how has it been mitigated? I believe the damage proration has been decreased, meaning it's a little bit better in combos now. So, Blue Vegeta, he's not going to be a wildly better character, but still, it's nice to see some changes for him because he definitely needed the changes. Moving on to Beerus the Angry Cat. So Stand Light here, I know everybody wanted it, and hallelujah, it's happened. So Stand Light A starts up faster. This was a 7-frame move before, considering its garbage range was a dang shame. So now it does start up faster, and also the hitbox is improved. Not a lot, but it is improved. Like from here, this would absolutely have missed before. So it can now actually hit from a little bit further away than the old T-Rex range it had. Now moving on to the other light, his crouching light also starts up a little bit faster. That's a pretty decent buff here, because you know crouch lights are one of the key ways to break people open, and now he can do that just fine. Now moving on again here, his assist. So we'll just tag out real quickly. The distance he moves forward is now increased. So this will help for recombo ability and especially some certain corner stuff. So while it's not going to change to the best assist in the game by any stretch, it makes it still a lot better. So now the Spheres of Destruction also counts for the assist. That's the actual orbs themselves here. So as it's written here, increase the non-recovery frame on hitting an opponent while they are not moving by Beerus' attack, meaning basically there's more hits on. That's as far as I can tell, that's what it means. And also, as you can see here too, the way the enemies are blown back has now been changed. And also now Spheres of Destruction can now be cancelled into a special move, Z-Change, or Sparking on the repelling sphere with a normal attack, meaning you can cancel your your attacks into special moves once you hit the bomb. Now also Sphere of Destruction here, you can cancel into a special move, Z-Chain, Sparking, or anything basically when hitting a sphere with a normal attack. So it now basically makes all this stuff here special cancelable when you're just hitting it. So could be cool. I'm not a Beerus player myself, so I can't really tell you the main applications of this, but still, it basically makes everything, the normals, special cancelable when you hit the orbs, which is kind of cool. Now, the final change, I'm not sure what to make of this one here. So the ground Sphere of Destruction, the EX version here, so it says Beerus now floats a little bit higher when pressing down. So if you're not aware, when he holds down and does this move actually becomes advantage on block. Now, if we do the old jump test here, Beerus still has advantage on block. So, I'm not sure what the exact change here, but it must mess with the numbers a little bit. I don't have the capability to test the numbers myself, but while he definitely is still advantage on block, it might be a little bit less now than it was. I'm not quite sure. Overall, maybe it's not the complete rework so some people are hoping for, but still, Beerus got buffs. Hey, pretty good. So, we talked earlier in the video about how I was happy Android 16 wasn't nerfed because, you know, I always know that every patch there's always a character that gets nerfs that doesn't need nerfs. Well, unfortunately for Android 21, she's the character. So, she got some nerfs here. I don't necessarily agree with these nerfs, but it is what it is. So, for us to start here with Crouching Medium, it's the old tail stab here. So, the hitbox has been shrunken. So, it's still decent as you can tell here, but, you know, it's not quite as big as it used to be. Now, also for Crouching Medium, this is the longer range of the move here, the holding down and forward. This move now causes combo scaling. So it'll act just like, you know, a jumping attack or ki blast or whatever. If you start with the extended version of this move, your combo will scale. Now, let's move here to the assist. So the hit stun on the assist is increased, so that's pretty good. And also, the damage has been decreased. Now, that I'm not too sure about. I don't think anyone was ever out there complaining, oh, hey, Android 21's assist does too much damage. But it is what it is. She also recovers a bit slower on screen before she jumps out, but not too much. But yeah, so the hit stun's increased, so new combos should be possible. That is good. But the damage is decreased on it. Now, also, the assist move here, the hit stun increase also applies to the base move, just so you know. And she will now begin her recovery whenever the move actually connects. So meaning, basically the frame data is the same no matter if you did it up close or if you did it from very far away, because she only recovers either when the fireball leaves the screen or when it connects on block. So it makes the frame data basically universal. And keeping onwards with this here, the light and medium version of the moves, the recovery is increased, meaning it's basically always worse on block and recovery. So this is yet another nerf. The homing energy blast, which is one of her absorb moves here, the hit stun is increased, but also the recovery is also increased. So nebulous buff, but also definite nerf on that one here. And going onwards with some of her stolen moves here, the barrier, the invulnerability starts up faster, which is good, just like Android 18. And just like Android 18, when the barrier stops an attack, you can R1 or R2 and go right into a special move. On the buff end of things, at least, the grounded anti-air grab here, that's Corsical back and S, now counts as an anti-air move, meaning it is now invulnerable to air attacks. So that is something. So you can actually kind of use it as the animation looks like, as intended, to snap someone out of the air and not get hit out of the air while you're trying to do it. On top of that now, after the move's whiffs, 21 will always turn to face the opponent. So if you do something like this here, hey, that's a little bit of cross-up pressure. Maybe not a lot, but it is something. But overall, Android 21, she was honestly one of the characters I could say could, just like, you know, like a Gohan or Super Saiyan Goku and Vegeta, she could have been fine in the unchanged pile. And stuff like nerfing the fireball's recovery, who is ever complaining about the fireball? Like, maybe you're complaining about, you know, the touch of death, sure, right? But the fireball? Really? Just weird. So, Bardock. Hey, did you watch Evo? I think I saw this, what? Oh, 300-400 times during Evo. So yeah, it is what it is. Bardock is nerfed. He's still decent, but he's nerfed. So let's start with the first here, Rebellion Spear here. That's the old jab forward. This move is now more negative on block. So one, against the big characters, you can't just smash jab and like trade or win out evenly. So that's good. Two, this right here, the old Rebellion Spear into the Vanish, is no longer a true block string. There is basically a 1 frame gap in there, so you can reflect through it, or if you're especially daring, you can actually get a level 3 through it. You're basically going to have to mash to get that timing, but still, that is the thing. So I don't think anyone's going to be shedding any tears over Rebellion Spear being a bit more negative on block. I certainly am not, but still, it is what it is. Now, also, the grounded Rebellion Spear here, the medium version, that's the uppercut version here, 1, is now an anti-air move, meaning it's got even more invincibility, I should say. It was always an anti-air move, but it has even more invincibility than it used to against jump attacks. So basically, this is like the truest Shoryuken in the game now, because you are going to very easily be able to smack foes out of the air with this. However, now, since we're reaching the level 3, the recovery frames after it, and as soon as I land, I'm going to be mashing down in light, is a bit worse, meaning the old level 3 into the whiff, into the mix-up, is just ever so slightly worse. It still ain't bad. Don't get me wrong, it still ain't bad, but it's now ever so slightly worse. As there's basically like an extra 2 frames before you can mash your crouch light for the mix-up. As for the EX version here, Rebellion Spear, that's a big charge forward here. It has more active frames and also does more damage on the follow-up attack, so that is actually a buff. So overall, Bardock is still going to Bardock. The mix-up slightly worse, and by slightly I mean very slightly here, because you can still do the same thing here, you just can't do it on frame 1 to go right into your crouch light. But still, you know, the mix-up still exists here, and plus, you know, there's all the mix-ups just where he jumps normally, right? Those are unchanged, so Bardock is still an incredibly strong character, but just some of the more annoying things, like, you know, his complete dominance over the big characters, because he could just mash jab after a blocked Rebellion Spear, and there's not much they could do about it. So at least that's taken care of. You know, this annoying setup that was like 0 risk is now at least, you know, you can vanish, or rather you can deflect through the vanish or match level 3 through it. So that's something. So still an incredibly strong character, just very slightly weaker. Moving on to Broly, this first one, you can thank me. I'm taking full credit for this one. I was the one waving this flag. Because I was also one who kind of partially exposed this to the public to begin with and made it more common knowledge. Because, you know, he does whatever, right? And as he's doing whatever, you vanish through it, you hit the armor, you get a full combo punish instead of blowing back. Well, hey, now, vanish breaks armor. So, and specifically it breaks Broly's armor. And so now, Broly will no longer get full combo punish for daring to whiff a move that has armor when, you know, no one else in the game would do that. So it doesn't help neutral, it doesn't whatever, like, you know, it's not a balance change that's easy to see specifically, but it helps Broly get killed less off doing what he wants to do anyways. Because, you know, with a Racer Blow, with a stand medium or whatever, you're dead when the guy vanishes you because he gets a full combo. So now Vanish will always break Broly's armor, and that's a buff for Broly. So I'm very happy that changed. Now moving on here, speaking of the Racer Blow, the initial hitbox for the move, both as the base move and the assist, are now expanded. And I'm very happy about that because this move as an assist before was one of the worst free combo assists in the game, especially in the corner. In the corner, it was absolutely like flip a coin if you could reliably get it, the combo in the corner with a lot of characters, because it was not very good. So I'm very happy with that. Also, the hit stun on it as an assist is increased, so new combos may very well be possible. Now, Gigantic Strike, that is the air grab here. So it says it is now easier to follow up with some vanish attacks, and I'm not fully messed around with this here, but it seems to make things a little more reliable. I have not come to the total, like, more exploring will be needed here, but everything feels a little bit nicer is all I can say. Vanish seems to be in the right place at the right time a bit better, but this is one that's going to take me a bit more time, because I'm not fully sure. It feels nicer is all I can tell you, but feels, you know, not information. That's just, you know, a feeling. But as it stands, combos that would drop before maybe won't drop now, but as it stands, that's just going to be one that's going to be a little difficult to tell in time. Overall, Broly's basically the same character he was before. So that's fine. I didn't get the buffs I wanted on this one, but, you know, some of these patch notes seem tailored to me, because a lot of this patch notes are things I specifically asked for, like, 1-to-1, so I can't complain because I got a lot of other stuff, right? But stand medium, stand light, stand heavy still have some of their hitbox issues, but at least he wasn't nerfed again, so that's something, right? Vegito, so his barrier is now basically just a better move. The barrier now, the part where you can actually hit the guy, rather where the guy can hit you and the barrier activate, now starts up faster. So it's still not frame 1, but still the move is a bit better than it was before, and that's pretty alright. The air grab here, kind of in keeping with a lot of characters now. There is basically now, you know, real invulnerability versus air attacks, meaning the move is a lot better at doing what it's intended to do, which is really good. Spiral Hero Shot, that's the sassy kicks here. The move is now more negative on block, but the move also recovers a bit quicker, so I'm not sure how the frame data is going to fully suss out on that one. Maybe it winds up being even, I don't know. But still, is what this move was never plus on block to begin with, nothing, right? So it works out. The aerial version here of the sassy kicks, so whenever you don't get the smash version of the move, meaning like you see, like, you know, the camera angle change and all that, it'll basically have more hit stun. So new combo opportunities may be apparent. So if you do get the camera change, meaning you haven't used up your smash yet, then it's still normal as it always was. But if you don't get the camera change, meaning you have used your smash, then potentially some new things will be available for you. And also, speaking about the aerial version here, the light and medium versions in the air travel further. So Vegito, like Zamasu, are some more recent characters, right? So I guess Vegito doesn't have as many changes because they feel he's pretty much where they want him to be. So Zamasu, Actually got some decent changes here. So first up here, the standing light, the upwards part of the hitbox has been extended, so it's a little bit easier to hit people kind of above him in this regard. So that's a decent quality of life change. Now the assist, however, has been changed. It's basically potentially a nerf. So the hurt box has been decreased in the front, the startup has been decreased, but the projectile speed is increased. So it might affect some of corner setups with the assist. I'm not sure yet, because his assist actually allowed for a decent amount of corner setups, and I don't know all of them. So you, as Zamasu players, you know, maybe put in the comments below what's different, because I don't know all these setups, so I just know they exist. So, but no matter what, I feel like this would have to change how they work. His late and EX versions of the slash both start up quite a bit faster, and that is a nice little change here. These are specifically the grounded versions. The aerial versions are basically untouched, as you can see here. Although the air version for the EX version, it is a little bit faster as well. But yeah, the ground version, man, that's just a lot quicker. And yeah, these are now viciously quick moves on the ground, so you might be able to catch people sleeping with them. Now, much like the assist here, the grounded version here of Divine Order, the hurt box has been decreased in the front, so slight nerf. The held version of the move, however, the startup is decreased, so it starts up just a smidge faster, and once again, the projectile speed is faster. So the hitbox is a bit worse on the base version, but the projectile version, the projectile will start up faster than it did before. So overall, kind of the same, just a little bit of buffs. The assist might be a nerf depending on the corner pressure. Once again, I don't know all these setups, so I can't really relay that to you, but still, not too much different than it was before. So overall, I am a huge fan of this patch. There's definitely winners and losers, like, you know, Cell and Kid Buu, they definitely got nerfed, but they're still very strong characters. So only if you're the worst kind of fraud will you actually drop them if you were already playing them, because they're still very serviceable and very good characters. But yeah, certain characters stick out a bit more here. So Ginyu, Tien Gohan, definitely Nappa, and Majin Buu, to me, are the biggest winners of the patch. Majin Buu didn't get so much change himself, but the fact that now assists are a lot better definitely helps his mix-up game. Nappa, he might not be Nappa tier anymore. Nappa tier might have to be reserved for somebody else, being the worst character in the game, because I don't think Nappa's going to be the worst character in the game anymore with all these buffs. He's definitely a big winner here. Now, is he top tier? Hell no. He's definitely not top tier. But still, it's really cool. He's a lot more of a threat than he used to be. They definitely listened to a lot of the community outreach. You know, a lot of changes people wanted. So overall, I gotta say, this is a step in the right direction. This patch is definitely not the disappointment the last balance patch was. And, you know, the characters that were already still pretty good, like, you know, Adult Gohan, you know, Super Saiyan Goku, Super Saiyan Vegeta, and Goku Black, they're untouched because they're good, right? They're fine. So yeah, overall, super happy with this patch. And yeah, DLC is soon upon us as well. So yeah, that's it for now. So once again, if you are somehow here at the end, there's timestamps everyone in the video. Check the video description, but that's it for now. So thank you very much for watching. I hope this video has found you well. Go out and play some Dragon Ball.